This is no way to run a business, is it, Jack?
It's terrible. I mean, both sides deserve a spanking for this. I mean, the fact that they're not talking, haven't been talking for the last 6 months, Piers, terrible.
See, let's take this point. We'll get to the Republicans in a moment, who everyone wants to blame. But I don't understand. When I spoke to Bill Clinton last week and to Newt Gingrich, when they went through the last shutdown, they both told me they talked every single day, sometimes multiple times in a day. Why is this not happening with the president? He finally spoke to John Boehner tonight, but why are they not talking all the time?
It took him 18 months to call the head of the Senate after getting elected. But look, that's not his strong suit. But the facts are, the only way you solve these problems is to schmooze, if you will, when you're not in crisis. You don't want the negotiation to be your first date. You want to have been dating all along as you come to the crisis. So you know where each other stands, you know what you can give and what you can't give.
On the principle that President Obama has adopted, many people have sympathy with this, that Obamacare is the law of the land. When he got re-elected last year, John Boehner came out and said, it is now the law of the land, we lost the election, and that must stand. Now suddenly he says the complete opposite. Does the president have a good point, do you think, here? That it is simply wrong to be held to ransom by what many see as political terrorists? Political terrorists.
Come on.
Political.
Piers, let's talk about that for a minute.
We know the analogy is that they've got all these hostages.
Look, I think both sides are to blame here. But let me give you another view of that. It was the law of the land, and then the president said, I think I'll change it. I think I'll give waivers. I think I'll give companies a free ride for a year. And by the way, I think I'll give $11,000 to the families in Congress and $5,000 to the individuals. I think I'll do that. But don't you dare do anything. Don't you dare say, let's delay and give people choice for a year, or let's not look at that tax on medical devices when the country needs a growing, thriving medical business, and we're taxing it for entrepreneurs, and we're taxing revenues.
But here's the point, though, Jack. You don't shut down the government to negotiate over stuff like that, do you? You keep government going, but you negotiate and you haggle and you go into battle
not
with the
somebody
president.
You don't talk to. Now, the Republicans made a ghastly mistake by going over there to defund Obamacare. This is his signature deal. He's got to have it done in some form, and they ought to have let that go and had negotiated off the points he changed. He changed the employer mandate. Okay, let's give citizens a choice of going into it or waiting a year.
If you had a renegade when you were running GE, you were the boss, you were the John Boehner figure, if you like, of the Republican Party, and suddenly you've got a Ted Cruz, right?
I thought I was a better marketing guy than that.
But if you had a Ted Cruz and suddenly burst out of nowhere and began to run your gig for you and call all the shots, what would you do?
I wouldn't be dealing with him for long, but I'd be listening to him to see what he had to say, and I'd be trying to figure out if he made any sense. In this case, I don't buy defunding the government, killing Obamacare. We got to let it go and see how it goes. But I do think what I would like to see is I'd like to see this CR, the debt ceiling, which is far more important, and the sequester, all thrown in a barrel.